The single banana tree has long been feared, believed to be a dwelling place for restless spirits. Those who dare to cut it down or even linger too close often speak of strange disturbances, dark shadows slipping between the leaves, whispers curling through the air when no one is there. Some claim to see black figures standing beneath its branches, watching, waiting. In lonely, overgrown places, this tree becomes more than just a plant, it becomes a warning. If a single banana tree grows near your home, beware, for it may already belong to something not of this world. This story took place about 4 or 5 years ago, during my university break. I was back in my hometown, enjoying quiet days with my family, when around 3 p.m., my phone rang. It was one of my friends, asking if I wanted to follow him and his master to a place said to be haunted by evil spirits. My friend was a loyal follower of this master, who often dealt with cases that no ordinary person dared to face. Out of curiosity and because I didn't really believe in the mystical world, I agreed. By 5 p.m., we arrived at the master's house, then climbed into his car for a 30-minute drive to a nearby village. But the moment we arrived, my disbelief began to waver. The scene was chilling, villagers gathered in silence, an ambulance parked nearby, and even the police waiting with grim faces. A cold unease gripped me as I wondered what could be so terrifying that even the authorities were here. Without a word, I followed, my heart beating faster with every step. The house owner came forward, his face pale and his body trembling as he clutched the master's hands, breaking down into tears. I stood silently, uneasy, as his words spilled out. His wife, Sarah, had passed away. A cold shock ran through me, and suddenly the ambulance and police made sense. With a shaking voice, the man began to explain. He was a lorry driver, often away for days, leaving Sarah at home. She was a housewife, filling her loneliness by visiting friends, spending afternoons gossiping and laughing. But everything changed the day one of her friends asked about the banana tree that stood near her house. "Haven't you seen the spirits there?" the friend whispered. Sarah laughed it off, denying anything unusual. Yet, curiosity lingered. The next day she pressed her friend for answers, who told her that banana trees were homes for evil spirits, beings who could even be summoned through rituals to reveal lottery numbers. At first Sarah dismissed it, but the words began to eat at her mind. On the 4th day, while her husband was home, she casually mentioned it. He scoffed, saying only fools believed such nonsense. But the moment he left for work again, Sarah's curiosity got the better of her. She performed the ritual alone. Nothing happened. Frustrated, she went back to her friend, accusing her of lying. But her friend simply smiled and told her coldly, "Do it again. The first time. They're only watching." 2 days passed, and Sarah's friends noticed her absence. They assumed her husband must be home, keeping her busy. But on the 4th day, Sarah appeared suddenly, carrying boxes of KFC and pizza, smiling wider than usual. When her friends pressed her, she confessed. After trying the ritual again, she claimed the spirit finally answered. In the dead of night, she woke to whispers and the shape of something standing at the edge of her bed. It demanded she set them free. Terrified yet bold, Sarah struck a deal she would release them if they gave her winning lottery numbers. To her shock, the spirit complied. The next day, her life-changed money poured in. Her friends, frightened, begged her never to attempt the ritual again, warning that such deals always come with a price. Sarah only nodded. But inside, she craved more. Soon she was performing the ritual again, calling them back. A week later, her husband returned home to find brand new furniture, a glowing television, a refrigerator humming in the corner, and other expensive items. Confused, he asked how she could afford them. Sarah smiled strangely, her eyes shining too bright, and told him she had simply won the lottery. He brushed it off, thinking it harmless. but the truth was far from harmless. The spirits had already marked her. Days went by, and Sarah stopped visiting her friends. Calls went unanswered. By the 5th day, one of them grew worried and decided to check on her. When she arrived, the house was locked tight, curtains drawn, and silence heavy inside. Sarah's husband returned at the same time, surprised to see her there. When asked, he admitted that Sarah hadn't been answering his calls either. Unease crept between them. He unlocked the door, and together they stepped inside, calling Sarah's name. No response. The house felt cold, unnaturally still. The husband moved toward the back, where the lonely banana tree stood. The moment he opened the side door, his heart nearly stopped. There under the pale light of dusk was Sarah, clinging to the tree as if embracing it, her body smeared and dripping with blood. Her friend froze in terror, trembling violently as memories of the ritual she had once told Sarah about flooded back. The husband collapsed in grief, dialing for an ambulance and the police. When medical staff arrived, they tried to pry Sarah's lifeless body from the tree, but it was impossible. It was as though unseen chains bound her to the trunk. For hours they struggled, but the tree would not release her. Desperate, her husband finally called the master for help. Sarah's friend, shaking with guilt, confessed everything, that it was she who had taught Sarah the ritual, never realizing it would end in such horror. The police, uneasy but desperate, allowed the master to approach the scene after he explained himself. He stepped toward the tree, muttering incantations under his breath, his face dark with focus. At first, Sarah's body didn't even look like Sarah. It was twisted, her features distorted into something inhuman, as though another being had claimed her flesh. The villagers gasped. The master drew symbols into the soil, chanting louder, commanding the spirit to release her. The air grew heavy, the banana leaves shook though there was no wind, and then, suddenly, her form shifted back. It was Sarah again. The master explained in a grave voice, Sarah had repeated the ritual daily. The spirit had grown greedy, refusing to release its host. Only after the ritual was completed could the paramedics pry her lifeless body free and take her to the hospital for autopsy. The villagers whispered among themselves, for everyone knew banana trees carry old, terrible spirits that bargain but never give without taking something in return. So now, I ask you, would you ever dare perform a ritual just for lottery numbers? Tell me in the comments. And if you've ever heard of a banana tree incident yourself, share it with us. If you dare.